I'm Kristen Graff, and I am very tall.
Pooja Malhotra, bright and sunny.
My name is Aurélie Nas, multi-purpose.
Stephanie Easton, committed.
My name is Tanisha Denham, and I would say I am driven.
Sonia Sofia Tavares de Figueiredo Lileo. Driven person.
So my name is Alejandra Arbeláez. I'm very curious, very open-minded, and very hardworking, actually.
Tell me a challenge that you faced, whether it's grown up or in school, college, house, neighborhood. It doesn't matter. As a woman, that you faced a challenge that you remember distinctly.
There are a few things. One, I was in an undergrad engineering program, and I walked into my freshman calculus class and was one of only a couple of women in the room, and that, to be honest, really startled me because my high school classes had been packed with women and really smart women. So I just assumed they would all also be going into engineering or following those sort of math-centric STEM disciplines. And I was really surprised that there weren't that many left. And
the number one thing I would say is the one that makes me the most uncomfortable, and that is senior leaders hitting on me.
It's not a specific event, but sometimes the hardest challenge is often realizing that maybe an exception has been put in place because you are a woman. So if you're not thinking about it, someone actually making you think about it is sometimes one of the toughest things that kind of all of a sudden you run back through of, I thought it was because of my hard work.
Actually, I never felt any differences as a woman or a man.
Yeah, I guess that if I would have stayed in Portugal, so my country of origin, I believe there I will face quite many challenges in the industry. It's quite man-dominated. So I guess I was lucky that I ended up here in the Nordics.
But I get to the challenge actually when I start working in international environments, especially in Europe actually, is that you always feel that you need to prove yourself a little bit more.
Since my childhood, I have never seen or faced discrimination as a woman towards me. If you feel like the son or whether you feel like the doormat, that's how you'll be treated.
I can say that except for my latest position, every single promotion that I've had to go directly to the top to get it. It's like as a woman, you have to be a super high overachiever. You got to do, we feel as women, we got to do a lot more to get to that same spot.
Probably coming out. So I'm queer. And I think that's probably one of the toughest things as a person is
I would say challenges related to people. I don't want to make people sad. I am very focused on the well-being of people, and I want everyone to feel as well as possible. So it's.
I was very young. I must be about 10 or 11 years old, and my parents my parents didn't have a very happy married life at that point in time. Of course, they are now 76 and 78 and very happily living together. So that's a good thing. But at that time, they used to have lots of fights. And at one point in time, my mother decided to kill herself along with the two of us, me and my brother. And I just had, it was the most tough. It was the toughest situation that I can recall ever in my life at the age of 10. And having the insight or a flash of insight, you can say, that it came to me that to tell her that why don't we just get out of the house? Why do we have to take our lives? And coming out of a 10-year-old, she couldn't do anything further, and she just packed our bags and we left home.
We are accepted in the same way. I think it's very important for the groups to have a variety, to have women and men, So I will say, okay, I will then say to increase the percentage of women.
Okay.
A little bit of passion. I think that we lack of passion, and it's coming lately, but passion to be able to kind of push yourself a little bit more.
Fairy could somehow, tap into so many people and help them see the world through other people's shoes.
Okay.
Oh, I think education is the key, and I would give more women access to education. And I don't mean necessarily like a scholastic education, or I shouldn't say that. I mean education in all sense and forms, meaning, the biology, science, math, that stuff, but more like educating them on their options when it comes to their body. Educating them on different laws and legislation, educating them on different programs and things like that they can get access.
Yeah, maybe take more risk for women. I mean, like that the organization are like, don't be so protective. Let us take risk.
Unmitigated self-confidence.
I would like to have the fact that you always think you're the best.
Emotional strength.
Physical strength.
Batman, he is the mastermind thinker.
Assumed intelligence.
Supportive.
My mother.
And all of the women in my family. But I would also say sort of, I'm obsessed with women in history and women like Hypatia and all sorts of women long ago, as well as women today that are breaking barriers all over the place and standing up for other women, standing up for their communities. So any woman actively using her voice and her brains.
Mrs. Kaneko Ikeda is the wife of Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, who is a poet, writer, Buddhist philosopher, and a peace activist.
My sister, we have a similar backgrounds, but she sees things differently, and it's refreshing.
My mom.
My mom.
My mom. Boxing.
Equitation or horse?
Any sport she wants to.
Chess.
I would probably say soccer.
Athletics.
All of them.
Multitasking. We say that we are multitasking, but we are not.
Yeah. I've not felt that it's difficult to be a woman until now. So let's see in the future.
Okay, good.
Not very quick at these quick questions, am I?
Not cry.
To be a mom and to be a woman, I guess.
Take for myself.
Answer questions quickly. Amazing. Brilliant.
Very
Full of
good.
energy.
Beautiful.
Fearless.
Limitless.
Girls are listening.
Hard work.
Are strong.
More sustainability, actually. Even in Vestas, we're in a renewable company, and we have launched this sustainability project about, for example, things as simple as having mugs in the offices and running electrical cars. I think that women are more conscious about that.
Have clearer long-term goals, I guess.
Okay, all right, very good.
Say we would be far better represented across the entire country in terms of our engagement with consumers, customers, and we would be engaging communities in totally new ways.
Profitable.
I think there'd be more innovation.
It would be sad if it was only women running the industry.
Organized.
If there is a 6 to 16-year-old girl who's watching the video, what's the one thing that you will say to them as a call to action? Say, do this now. So the industry can be better, you can be better, etc. So what is that one thing that you would ask a 6 to 16-year-old girl today to do?
Confidence, and that's something actually that I guess that parents can support the little girls on.
What came up directly in my mind is, in reality, just to believe in yourself.
Learn about science and the discoveries of science. You don't have to pursue it as a career, but same as history, make sure it's a trusted source of information, or at least you learn how to trust and what to trust.
technology is super interesting, and it's not because you're a woman that you should not go in the technology world. So, I mean, for me, it's really, technology is not a man's only land, for sure.
That's true.
Hey, please go into either engineering, finance, accounting. There is just not enough women occupying these spaces. Science, biology, just all of that. It may seem hard or unattainable, but it's really not that scary.
A 6 to 16-year-old girl. I would say, find the things that you are most excited about. And they all have a pathway into the renewable energy space and are connected into that space in some way or another. And then talk to as many people and as many friends and as many peers and even adults about why you're excited about them. And then just go out and do things all the time.
One is to live as if this is the last day of your life, even to a 6-year-old. Live to the fullest, but also live as if what you do today will last for 100 years.
And I want to wish you a happy Women's Day.